Hello folks, I am the Old Sergeant. A major threat to our country's customs, culture, religion and traditions is the massive influx of illegal aliens, invaders, into the country. The leftists invite everyone in the world here to dilute and destabilize our civilization and illegally vote for the leftist agenda. The invaders do not assimilate. They create little no-go areas where no one but them are allowed. Even police and emergency services do not go there. In 1950, the population of the United States was 150 million. It started to increase rapidly with President Lyndon Johnson's Immigration and Nationalization Act of 1965. 57 years later, American taxpayers have a national debt approaching $29 trillion and are now paying for the invaders. Many suffering massive problems with high numbers of invaders being dumped into their small towns. This is part of the plan to destroy red state towns. There are over 44 million illegal, criminal, alien invaders already in our country, and that number is rapidly rising. Over 44 million illegal immigrants, anchor babies, chain migration, unenforced immigration laws, overstayed visas, unlawful sanctuary cities, illegal deferred action for childhood arrivals, mandates by executive orders authorizing millions of undocumented children to remain in the country. America's population growth has doubled to more than 330 million people in almost 7 decades, and the population is expected to be 380 million in 2040. The prediction for 2022 is 2.1 million invaders will enter the country. Many will be flown around the country and dumped off in the dead of night by our government. Since Joe Biden took office and started implementing his radical open border policies, 42 people on the terrorist watch list have been apprehended attempting to enter the United States through our southern border illegally. Even more disturbing is that the White House press secretary could not guarantee that none of the over 2,000 illegal immigrants a day who avoid U.S. Customs and Border Protection capture entering our southern border were on the terror watch list. Biden's border crisis by the numbers. According to new CBP data, there were 221,303 migrant encounters at our southern border in March. That's a new Biden-era high. That is up 33% from February. That is a 542% increase from 2020. More than 7,000 migrants crossed the border per day, on average, in March. March was the 13th straight month of encounters over 150,000. Since Biden took office, over 2.2 million illegal immigrants have been apprehended at our southern border. These staggering numbers come as we learned that 42 people on the terrorist screening database have been apprehended attempting to illegally cross our southern border since Joe Biden was sworn in. If that many were caught, how many came in undetected or were even let in? According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection data, nearly half of these apprehensions have taken place in just the first months of 2022. CBP's March report came while Title 42 was still in effect. The Biden administration planned to lift Title 42 on May 23, a decision that will only worsen Biden's border crisis. In March, more than 7,000 migrants crossed the border per day on average, sending overall border crossings past 220,000, the most in more than 2 decades. The Department of Homeland Security estimates that when Title 42 lifts, those numbers could climb to 12,000 to 18,000 crossers per day. In 2021, the Biden administration dropped deportations by roughly 68%. This is the lowest level in 26 years, which dates back to before the agency ICE was created. In FY21, 11,201 pounds of illicit fentanyl were seized by Customs and Border Protection, which is enough to kill every American nearly 7 times over. Fentanyl border seizures increased by 134% in FY 2021. Now, the majority of America's fentanyl that is flowing into our communities is being smuggled across the southern border from Mexico. Border officials have estimated that nearly 400,000 illegal immigrants have escaped into the United States without being caught under Biden. The real impact of illegal immigration. Illegal immigrant invaders cost the taxpayers by using government services like welfare, public education, and medical services. The American economy cannot absorb over 500,000 low-skilled illegal immigrants a year. Thousands of criminals, drug cartel members, and terrorists infiltrate the country and establish bases. Crime is skyrocketing, with a good portion of that by illegal alien criminals who are caught, released, not deported, and if deported just turn around and come back in. The low wages illegals are paid affect job pay up the line, decreasing income to all Americans. As the number of electoral college votes a state gets is dependent only on population, and that population includes illegal aliens. People are being sold into slavery and are being sex trafficked. There are many more negative effects on our civilization from the invasion. Those of us that stand up to the threat to our country's customs, culture, religion, and traditions are called racists and conspiracy theorists in an attempt to shut us up. We must stand up to this invasion, and it is an invasion, of our country of mostly military-aged males. These people need to fix their own homelands instead of living off the backs of the average American. We can't let the terrorist, cartel drug smugglers, and child traffickers make it into our country. Folks, we now have hundreds of thousands of military-aged men in our country. They are here to attack our country when the orders come down to do so. These orders will come from the Chinese Communist Party, Islamist leaders, and non-state actors like drug cartels. With the Biden and Putin-created famine expected to hit in the fall, hundreds of thousands of people will be flocking to our southern border. They will overwhelm the country and America will be finished as a nation-state and a civilization. I am the old sergeant. Stay informed, prepared, active, prayerful, and as always, stay vigilant.